Is Mykhailo Mudryk guilty or is he not guilty of his doping ban scandal that's still ongoing at Chelsea Football Club? Now, welcome back to From the Shed and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please make sure, as always, you subscribe before you do anything else. Hit that subscribe button, the like button as well, and also leave some comments below in the section. It helps with the algorithm, it helps with the channel growing. But we are going to be talking a couple of Chelsea-related things. Of course, there was a brilliant comeback from Chelsea at the weekend against Fulham. Pedro Neto to Reed George with the goals. Of course, all of that good stuff. If you haven't already, make sure you check out the match reaction, the match vlog from Darmesh in our channel section. If you go down below, you'll be able to find that video. But we are talking Mykhailo Mudryk. I did mention Mudryk last weekend on the live stream, and lo and behold, an interview's been done. Here's the latest. Ben Jacobs currently has done a article on Mykhailo Mudryk. It currently reads, Mykhailo Mudryk has passed a lie detector test as he bids to clear his name. Shakhtar CEO Sergei Palkin tells me. Shakhtar could lose 30 million euros if Mudryk doesn't play for Chelsea again. 25 million euros from the 70 million fee already donated to the Ukraine's war efforts. It also goes on to say that Shakhtar Donetsk chief executive Sergei Palkin on I can't even say his name. Mykhailo Mudryk. He doesn't understand how it could have happened. He has no clue, no idea at all. His lawyers organized him to take a lie detector test, which he passed. Very, very interesting, because I feel with Mykhailo Mudryk, it's interesting because you can, I mean, look, it's 2025, we got AI. So you could definitely manipulate a lie detector test easily to make it suit your narrative. But I do feel there's something crazy going on. Whether the club know the outcome of the B sample, whether they're waiting till the season ends, or maybe they're looking at alternative options to I don't know, to try and understand what the ramifications, the impacts are to Mykhailo Mudryk if he is to be found guilty. But it does seem a bit weird, you know. A sample was done, I think, in November last year, whilst he was on international duty for Ukraine. Test positive, and then all of a sudden we don't hear anything for months and months. So something has clearly gone wrong somewhere. There's a breakdown in communication. It could be a legal thing. It could be a legality thing, that why we haven't heard anything. You know, if Mykhailo Mudryk is having to do lie detector test, that kind of tells you that, you know, he's fighting the case all guns blazing. You know, he wants to clear his name respectfully as well if he is found to be, you know, not aware of what the substance was that was put into his body or into a protein drink or whatever it is. But I do find it very strange. The club hasn't come out and made like an official statement, an update, whether, you know, so they need to tell the fans something, especially now that the CEO of Shakhtar Donetsk has come out, rightfully so. You know, there's impacts to them financially if they don't receive the money that they should be receiving from Chelsea as well. You know, we just don't know. And it's really hard to talk about, because I don't think until we know the facts, until we know the outcome, until we know exactly what it is that's going on, it's hard to talk about this. So I don't really want to, I think maybe later on down the road, we'll do a bigger conversation about this with the rest of the lads on the channel. But I do think for now, especially the fact that he's now, you know, Shakhtar Donetsk CEO's come out, done an exclusive with Ben Jacob. The fact that Mykhailo Mudryk has done a lie detector test, he's clearly trying to clear his name, he's past that. But you have to question, you know, the decision for him to be able to do that. Is it the right choice? Has it gone against Chelsea's will to do that? So there's so many questions that are unanswered that need to be answered before I think anyone can even pass judgment or, you know, share their views properly on this situation. One thing it does show me is that the club as always handles things very wrong in all aspects of our club. You know, sales, purchases, commercially, on the pitch, managers. So this doesn't surprise me that this is turning into a bit of a circus at Chelsea Football Club, just the way that the club's been run at the moment. But it will concern me if we go into that Club World Cup and we still don't hear anything from it. If we go into the preseason and we're still waiting to hear what's the outcome of the situation with Mudryk, that will also have an impact on, do we keep Jadon Sancho or do we pay the 5 million loan get-out clause to United? What's happening with Raheem Sterling? So there's so many things that are linked to just this one bit of story. It has to get sorted soon. And maybe now that there's movement in terms of, you know, people speaking out, you know, it might get Chelsea to start outing things that they clearly might already have the answers to try and speed this thing up. Now, Worst case scenario, that there is a 4-year ban potentially for Mykhailo Mudryk. Again, massive impacts. Is he in breach of contract? Is he able to go to a tribunal and fight that? So there's so many things. So I think until we know the answers to the questions that we need to have answered, I don't think we can really speak on that situation too much. And, the article's there. If you want to go over to Ben Jacobs' Twitter page, you'll be able to find it on there. You can read it. It's an exclusive. It clearly says from a Shakhtar Donetsk perspective that they feel that something has gone wrong. There's some tampering with whatever Mykhailo Mudryk has been doing over the past couple of months, which resulted in a positive test of a banned substance. But until we know the answers, we can't. All we can do is speculate, and I don't like to do that on this channel. So let's see what comes out of it. Let's see what comes of the decisions that come out of the outcome, and then we can maybe talk about it a bit more. But let's move on. Let's talk about what I've just read. Now, I've just read that Diego Costa, goalkeeper currently at Porto, is keen on a move to Manchester United. I can't blame him. Portuguese manager, Bruno Fernandes, Portuguese. I get it. So I get that. But when a club like Chelsea know that they need a goalkeeper, we can go for a goalkeeper. Costa is a brilliant goalkeeper. We missed out on Mamardashvili. We should be all over this, really. We really should be all over this. Now, there's been talk as well earlier on today that Jurgensen and potentially Mike Penders will be loaned out next season to potentially Strasbourg as we continue to utilise Strasbourg as a development opportunity for some of our players. That will result in Petrovic coming back to the club, hopefully becoming our first choice goalkeeper ahead of Robert Sanchez. Now, we know that Petrovic currently on loan at Strasbourg is having a really good season there. He's excelled in the Ligue 1, leading key goalkeeping metrics. Some have dubbed him world class as well to an extent. Liam Rosino as well, another one of his many fans as the manager at Strasbourg, has said that the 25-year-old is probably one of the best, if not one of the world class goalkeepers that we've got in world football at the moment. I think that's a bit of an overstep, but, maybe he has got the indication. He's still only 25. Most goalkeepers can play up till, 35, 36 if they keep themselves in good nick and, keep the form, the quality going. But I do think Petrovic wasn't really given the opportunity to show what he can do as a Chelsea goalkeeper in his first couple of spells at the club. And I think, this loan move has potentially helped him. He's taken him out the limelight. But when you see Diego Costa over there and he's, you can go and get him. He's on, I think it's quite a low fee as well, that Porto, the release clause for Costa. I am questioning why we're not trying to get that deal done. For me, you need a world class, especially the way that we're playing, and we've seen so many over the last 3 or 4 years. You have to have a solid spine of a team. For me, Costa is world class. He's probably the best goalkeeper alongside, Mamardashvili, alongside Alisson, Ederson. He's up there with those kind of goalkeepers. And the fact that we're not even entertaining trying to get him, for me, is criminal from the club. If we allow him to go to Manchester United, the only thing I can think of potentially might be a wage issue that we're, the structure that we have would stop us from getting him. But we have to even attempt to try and get that deal done. Now, of course, that would mean, I think, 9 goalkeepers on the books, but someone's got to go. Sanchez might have to go. Jurgensen might have to go. If you're not good enough at the club, and you might have to go. We should have 2 goalkeepers that we are trusting in between the sticks. It shouldn't matter if it's Petrovic or another goalkeeper, but they have to be of the same quality. At the moment, we're having Robert Sanchez, Jurgensen, and neither of them are good enough. And our centre-backs don't trust them playing out from the back. So something has to change there, whether it's Petrovic that comes in, but we need a goalkeeper this summer and we need to go out. Now, the club have said they want to bring in the transfers early. We've got that sort of break in the window from, I think, the 1st to the 8th of June, and then it shuts and then it reopens again. Listen, we've got to be all over key transfers. We have to be, ideally, we should be looking to get deals done now. Let's start getting a list of players, which I'm hoping the sporting directors are doing their jobs, and that's what they're doing. But they should be getting that list ready. So as soon as that window opens, we can go out and start doing the negotiations and talking to agents, talking to players, talking to the clubs, agreeing the fees, just getting it done, short and snappy. Let's get it done. But for me, Costa should be top of that list of goalkeepers. Yes, Petrovic is very good, but if we're talking about wanting to go back in the Champions League, what a lot of Chelsea fans are telling me, we can't do that with Petrovic or Sanchez in goal or Jurgensen in goal. We have to have a top goalkeeper, and you've got one right there in Costa. So if he's willing to leave Chelsea, if he's willing to leave Porto, Chelsea will be his destination for me that he's got to go to. He has to go to that. But we'll see how that pans out. Let me know what you think in the comments. Should we sign Costa from Porto, or should we go with Petrovic and keep it safe and spend the money elsewhere or other areas of the team that we need to strengthen? Now, one player that I am very, very impressed with, and I did call this out before the game against Fulham on Sunday, was Tariq George. And I said on my live stream last Saturday, he has to be in the team. He has to be in the team. He was in my predicted lineup. And I'm going to go out there again and I'm going to say that he should be in the team against Everton as well. Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. He should be in the team. If there's one player that you know that will put a shift in, that will give you all, it's Tariq George at the moment. And the reason I feel like he can do that is because I think he knows what I said it on Saturday, he knows what it means to play for Chelsea. He's come through the ranks. He's part of the club. Some of these players that are coming in, they maybe don't get it as much. But when you've come up through the ranks of anything, but especially a football club, you know what it means to put on that shirt, that proud moment. And so far, so good. Obviously, I'm liking what I'm seeing of him. He's very direct. He's ready to take players on. He gets into the right areas, key areas. He's willing to take a shot as well. And that's one of the things that, if you look at some of the other players in the team, they're not, they're very, they'll pass the ball a million times before they take a shot. And as you got to see with Pedro Neto, beautiful goal. But you got to see with Pedro Neto and Tariq George, they're willing to test the goalkeeper's fingers and see what they can do. And that's what you need in the team. You need someone who's going to take a chance, take a punt on himself that they're going to score the goal. And the key thing I liked about Tariq George, he scored the goal. He didn't go off and celebrate. He was back to the halfway line. As soon as he got that goal, he wasn't ready to celebrate. His first Premier League goal. Now, most players would have gone off celebrating to the crowd, celebrating to everyone. I know it was from the home end that he scored, so clearly the Chelsea fans weren't around him to celebrate. But even so, he didn't flinch. It was straight back to the halfway line. We need to try and get another goal. And at that moment, when Pedro Neto scores, that's when the euphoria moment came from, I think, because he realised then we've actually got the winner and he's contributed to that. And we have to start trusting. We're buying all these young players, and some of them actually cost us nothing. Tariq George is a product of the academy. He's cost us nothing. He has to play all the other games in the Premier League for us and the Conference League because he puts in a shift. Him, Achiempong, two good players. We have to try and keep both of them in the summer. But for me, Tariq George is showing signs that he's ready for that step up. And if that means we don't have Jadon Sancho in the team next season, so be it. If that means Mudryk when he's banned, so be it. If that means no Raheem Sterling because he's not good enough for the club, so be it. We have a player in Tariq George that we have to put the trust in that he's going to get the job done. He's going to have off days, of course. He's going to have off days. Conor Bradley had one against for Liverpool on Saturday, or on Sunday. But you have to put the trust in him. Academy graduate. I'd say he's better than Raheem Sterling at the moment. I'd say he's playing better than Christopher Nkunku at the moment. He's clearly playing better than Mudryk at the moment. So let's not put him on the bench and allow someone like Sancho or whoever else, Noni Madueke, to keep getting chance after chance. If they're not doing it, and Cole Palmer, add him into that section as well, if they're not doing it, bring on one of the players that you've either brought in for astronomical amounts for the age that they are, or go to your academy players, the graduates from the Cobham, Tariq George, and give them an opportunity to do something. Because he came on, he changed the game, he got his goal, and you could see what it meant to him. And he has to start against Everton on Saturday. I don't care what anyone says. It's going to be a totally different game, physical game. But again, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that at all. I'm not worried about that at all. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Should Tariq George start the next game against Everton? It's going to be a physical game. I think he's up for the challenge. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. Leave your thoughts below, and we will be back soon with another video.